also came from the Florida legislature. Amendment 2 would make permanent a 10% cap on non-homestead assessments. This would make permanent a cap on non-homestead assessments set to expire on January 2019. So it's set to expire and they're basically renewing it. State Revenue Estimating Conference estimates a loss of tax revenue of $700 million annually. So a vote yes would keep the 10% cap and disallow tax revenue for rising property values. A vote no would end tax limits on non-homestead property and possibly increase taxes for schools. Supporting and opposing organizations. Okay, moving along. Amendment 3. Citizen initiative, meaning they collected upwards of 900, however many signatures to put this on the ballot. Voter control of gambling in Florida would require a constitutional amendment to approve any new casino gambling. Control of gambling in Florida, as this would control gambling in Florida, as this would prevent the state legislature from making decisions about gambling in anyone's own community. Only the voters can decide. A yes vote would preclude legislative proposals to add casino gambling. The legislature could approve other gambling, such as poker rooms, bingo, and fantasy spots. A no vote would allow the legislature to make these decisions for local communities like they currently do. Supporting and opposing organizations.
Wow. That's a definite yes.
Local control.
All right. Amendment 4. This is also a citizen initiative. I believe this one, well, I used to have the number.
Second chances?
Yes. This one collected 766,000, which was the minimum. Well,
That was more than that.
there was, yes, but
Okay.
valid signatures. There was more, but then it came back, some of them weren't valid. But it's still what met the threshold to be placed on the upcoming ballot. Voting restoration amendment would restore the eligibility to vote to persons with felony convictions who have completed their sentences, paid restitution, completed parole and probation, and so forth. So a little background. Florida is one of only 4 states that have such a strict standard. 766,200 valid petitions were required to get on the ballot. In 2011, additional background, in 2011, newly elected Governor Rick Scott, with the consent of the cabinet, issued strict new rules, resulting in only 3,000 restored rights, even though there were 30,000 pending applications.
Also, there are exceptions to this. I think Ray and her, there's a couple of exceptions to that.
Today, some 1.6 million Floridians are disenfranchised. That's the highest in the nation and accounts for nearly 10% of the total adult population in Florida. So a vote yes would grant those persons who have completed their sentences the ability to register and vote, except those convicted of murder or sex offenses. A vote no would continue making those who have completed their sentences wait a minimum of 5 years after they've completed restitution and probation and parole. They'd still have to wait the 5 years to apply to go in front of a board before applying to the governor and cabinet to go forth in front of that board. Supporting and opposing organizations. Amendment 5, this came from the Florida legislature. Supermajority vote required to impose, authorize, or raise state taxes or fees. So Amendment 5 would include taxes on all sales, gasoline, alcohol. It would include fees for fishing, fishing licenses, firearm licenses. It does not include a provision that would allow for tax or fee increases during times of economic emergencies. The same